Yeah, that's, I don't know how well that'll show up. Inside of the tires, disgusting. The rim is disgusting. How you doing? Duff here. This is my Gotway. Yes, Gotway Mten3. This is so old that I can call it a Gotway, and it's actually correct. Gotway was still calling itself Gotway back when I got this thing. I'm not even sure how many years it's been at this point. A lot. It is a old wheel, still a functional wheel, but I haven't been able to ride it recently because the tire keeps not holding air. The air valve was problematic. Even when I would get air in it, it would not hold it very well. And I think that I need to take the tire off and see what's going on there. I have a feeling that it is overly slimed, and the slime has hardened and just caused it to be a mess inside. So that is my guess. I've never had to take apart the Mten3, so I am going to do it. I will probably have Marty's video on his Mten3 tire change queued up here to guide me along the way, but I'm going to try to wing it as much as I can. Yeah, this thing is so old. The stand it's sitting on is a stand that was designed by Matthias. You remember Matthias? Matthias was one of the early guys that got into 3D printing for electric unicycles, and him and I have been in contact for years and years and years. I haven't talked to him lately, but yeah, this stand was one of Matthias's designs. It's a no-tool stand. So all right, let me get this down on the table and start taking it apart. So I'm not going to do a step-by-step here. I'm just going to take it apart, and if there's anything noteworthy along the way, I will mention it. But like I said, Marty's video that he did on this years ago is sufficient as far as a disassembly video goes. Right now, I'm just taking the little baby pedals off. This is like an OG Mten3. This is a 84 volt Mten3. Had, like I said, the little tiny pedals and the very low profile, fat but low profile tire. This thing feels like cement. Oh my goodness. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. This wheel is actually loaned to Mickey EVX for a little while too. He's the one, I believe, that put this stuff on. I think the padding, the bumper strips. So yeah, this wheel's been around. Got the pedals off. This part, I think, just kind of snaps off, right? Bumper strips kind of make it a little difficult. Let's take these off. Okay, yeah, these plastic parts just kind of snap off. Or maybe I can go this way with them. Okay, with the plastic pieces off, there's a bunch of holes here. Each one of those holes has a Phillips head screw in it. Gonna take those off. I believe there's screws behind this pad. Are there screws behind this one? I don't think so. So yeah, let me do some unscrewing here and see if we can get this cover off. So you gotta kind of take this little low pad, peel it back, because there are screws hidden under here. I got the 4 bottom ones, but then I didn't realize that there's 2 up top here too. So there's a total of 6 screws hiding under here and a very strong magnet. All right, now it's really close. So, all right. And I'm watching the second Marty video on this, so he's had it apart already. So I think his came, oh, there we go. I think his came apart pretty easy because it had been apart before, whereas mine had not. This is the first time, okay, there we go. First time I'm ever cracking into it. You ever wonder what an Mten3 looks like inside? There you go. Here's my tire. So now I have access to the tire. So now I get to, God, that thing feels like a rock. Oh my God, this is gonna be a mess when I take it off. I know it is. All right, so you don't need to watch me fight with this damn thing because it is gonna be a fight for sure. But I'm gonna get this tire off. All right, it took some work just to get the damn bead off. I mean, I can already tell this is going to be a freaking nightmare inside from all this slime. There's just nasty, hard residue in here. It's nasty, man. It's nasty. Slow and steady. I'm wondering if I can use my my zip tie method, because I'm almost sure I'm going to have to just wind up getting another tire for this thing. It just looks like shit. But I wonder if I could use my new and improved zip tie method to mount it that I used on the Master. Okay, the speed's almost, or the side is almost off. Alright, getting there. Yep, this is freaking awful. I knew it would be. I don't put slime in my wheels anymore, by the way. If I gotta change a tube, I'll change a tube. Oh man, good lord! This almost looks like if you ever had a push mower that you've never cleaned the area where the blade is, and like this, it becomes like coated in like a green organic material. Yeah, that's kind of what this looks like. No wonder the valve didn't work right. Yeah, that's, I don't know how well that'll show up. Inside of the tires, disgusting. The rim is disgusting. Yeah, the rim of the motor, oh my god. All right, so I'm just gonna get another tire. I mean, this tire is just, I'm tempted to convert it back to just a tube design, really, because I always had issues with it leaking anyways. So I'm thinking about just making it tubed. But like right here, you can see where the valve is supposed to be, you know, for the tubeless right here. Just look at all that shit in there. That is horrible. Oh my god. So, all right, I'm gonna take this outside, and I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna use to scrape this shit off, but see how good it can be.
2 hours later.
Alexa, turn on kitchen. Not much better. This is the after. I went through with my biggest flat edge screwdriver and scraped off the thick layers of dried slime, and then I went back around with a wire brush to get more of it off. I've removed the tubeless valve. My plan is just put a regular tube in here and call it good, because I mean this edge is so effed up with dried slime. There's like some corrosion and stuff. It would be very difficult to get a good seal there, so I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to put a tube in it. I'm getting a new tire. I'm going to put a fresh tire in here because the old tire was, you know, six years old at least, something like that. And yeah, so we are in a holding pattern until those parts arrive, and we will pick it up then. What a mess.
2 hours later.
Yo, what's up? Duff here. It's, we have some of the precipitation from the tropical storm that's kind of hanging out around here, starting, so I just had to slide in a little bit. I don't think it's gonna be anything. We're gonna get some rain from it, but I don't think it's gonna be terrible for us, so that's okay. But what's important is I have the Mten3 here that has all the dried slime in it. So far, I took like a scraper and got the real thick areas of it off, and then I took a wire brush to it to get more of the dried slime off, but there's still quite a bit there. I'm not sure how well it shows up on camera. So what I have now is one of these paint stripper attachments on my drill, and I'm gonna see if I can get it a little bit cleaner. Wish me luck. So my main concern is trying to clean the outer rim, because even though I did buy a tube for this, I'm not quite sure if it's going to work or not. I'm going to probably have to do some rigging to get a tube to work. So if that doesn't work, I'm going to need a clean outer rim here to get it to seat correctly if I do have to go back to tubeless. So that is my goal here. Does it concern me having a high-speed abrasive device spinning near my junk? Yes, it does. But I kind of need to be locked in, and that feels like kind of my best locked in position. Okay, so I did what I could to get this outer edge, at least get the shit off the outer edge. I mean, this dried slime is like freaking cement, man. I mean, what a mess. And there's areas where it looks like it's corroded. So I'm hoping I can make the tube work so it won't really matter, because I mean I am leaning on this with all my force with this paint stripper, and it is tough to get this stuff off. It's really tough. I'm not going to worry about the stuff in here because I don't think it'll affect anything. But yeah, not fun. I won't ever use slime again. I did buy some armadillos. I do have armadillos, and if I do wind up going tubeless, I will use that, but I will never use slime again. Okay, so I'm going to try to use the zip tie method like I did with the Master. This tire is much more challenging because it has a thin sidewall. You can't compress it as much, so I'm not sure how much of a benefit it's going to be. My biggest concern is if I can get this tube in without it scraping the shell. I think it's going to be a challenge. But I will be able to tell pretty quickly if it will or not. So I did apply bull snot to the outside to make the tire surface more slippery. And now I'm going to try to press it on and see what happens. Okay, this isn't going very well. And part of it is because the wheel is, it's still half in the shell and it's rocking around, so I can't get good access to apply even pressure. Like when I did the Master, you can take the Master motor all the way out so I can get my weight on the one side while I'm pressing on the other. This one is just, it's flopping around too much. So I'm still going, but it's not going well.
2 hours later.
All right, I didn't film me fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and then fighting some more to try to get this on. It's not going. It's not going. I went out and got a tubeless valve at AutoZone and thought, okay, I'll go tubeless. And of course it's too big. Automotive valve's too big. So now I need to get a smaller one that is designed for something this small. But this tire, man, it's such a pain in the ass. Got some blood on the tire. I cut myself here, cut myself there. It's just a huge pain in the ass because the sidewall is too, it's too narrow to be able to squeeze the tube inside of it effectively. So the tube's sticking out, so then I'm risking the tube, and it's just, I'm gonna have to go back to tubeless and pray for the best. Go tubeless, we'll lay some armadillos in there and see how it goes, because this sucks. So to be continued once again.
2 hours later.
Welcome to a new day. It's Sunday now. Mten3 probably looks a little bit different to you than it did when you last saw it. A couple things. I removed the 6 screws on the pedal hangers on the other side, and so now the motor can be moved freely. And yes, it's on the rim. Since you saw me last, what I did was I did go and order a tubeless valve, which I have installed. And then I took out the tube and I redid my straps. Without the tube in there, I was able to really compress. You probably can't really see it that well because it's on the rim, but I was really able to kind of compress the two sides into like almost a V. Once I did that, I got it on without tools. Without tools, I sprayed bull snot on either side, pressed it right on without tools. So that's kind of amazing, right? So now I'm at the point where I need to see, I'm gonna cut these straps off and see if we can get some air in this thing and see if it actually holds. That would be interesting, and the desired outcome. All right, so I'm hoping I get lucky and it sits on the rim enough that I can inflate it with my normal inflator. I'm hoping. Okay, it's pretty well seated on there. Okay, I'm gonna go get my inflator and wish me luck. Today we had a pretty nasty day thanks to the tropical storm that's been passing our area. And I was just out a few hours ago riding my veteran Patton on it. If you haven't seen it, check it out on the channel. Definitely the wettest ride I ever had in my life, and probably one of the dumbest rides I ever had in my life as well. So yeah, I don't even have slime in here yet. And I'm not putting slime in here. I do have armadillos though. But I'm just curious what will happen just as is. See if we can get air in here. Okay, so although I got the tire on, I have not been able to get it to seal well enough to inflate it. I might try the ratchet strap trick. I'm not going to do it tonight, where you put a ratchet strap around the tire and you tighten it down to just kind of smush it against the rim so it seals it, so it can inflate and seat the bead. But if that doesn't work, then I might try to take it to just one of the tire places around here and just say, hey, can you just put your high-speed inflator on here and just seat the tire for me and you know, pay $10, $20, whatever, because I think that ultimately might be what I'm going to have to do. So the saga continues, just what I was hoping for.
2 hours later.
All right, for the first time in a long time in regards to this project, I actually have something to smile about.
Whoa.
See this? It's got air in it. It's got air in it. It's got 40 psi in it. Yep, I tried to do it with my portable inflator, could not get it to seat. Took it to a tire place. You know, tire places have inflators. Initially, he set it up to a lower power inflator, and he could not get it to seat. But then he took it over to the high power inflator, you know, where they put the automotive tires on the machine to seat them and everything. And yeah, he got it on. He got it on. Popped right on. It feels like it's holding air just fine. So whew, I'm good to go. I'm gonna put this back together, but I'm actually in the home stretch. Had lots and lots and lots of frustration trying to do this, but I think we are finally going to persevere and succeed. This feels good to get this freaking thing back together, let me tell you. I was talking to Larry earlier today and just talking about, like, this is one of my traits, is I'm stubborn and I'm tenacious, and sometimes it serves me well, sometimes it doesn't serve me well. But in a situation like this, I feel well served, because I was beyond frustrated so many times with this process. But I think we're in the home stretch. All right, there you go, reassembled. Really, all I need to do is just take it out in the driveway, make sure that it's still rideable. I turned it on already, it does balance. Looks like the battery is very low, which makes sense since it hasn't been ridden in all of at least 2024. It might be a full year since this thing's been ridden. So it means it's probably been a full year since it's been charged. So we will charge it, of course, but let's see if we can ride it. First riding the Mten3 in a long time. A little nervous because the battery's so low, but you know. It works. It works. It works. It works. It works. Awesome. I was getting a little nervous. I wasn't quite sure where the charger was for this thing, but I did luckily find it. I did not throw it out, which I did with so many other things. All right, 4-pin, let's plug it in. This is an 84-volt wheel. All right, we're charging. We are charging. Charging. All right, so I guess that's it. This was quite the ordeal. Lots of roadblocks along the way, but we persevered, and you know, things that make you persevere in life, in my personal experience, they are the things that are most valuable. So yeah, keep at it, don't give up. So that's all I got. If you guys found this video interesting, please think about giving it a big thumbs up. If this is your first time visiting the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you're going to subscribe, hit the notify bell that's over there somewhere. Feel free to leave your comments, suggestions, ideas, and thoughts below. Yeah, Mten3 tire change. My zip tie trick does work. It did make it super easy. You know, once I abandoned the idea of trying to convert this to a tube, I was able to squeeze it, zip tie it up, and push it right on without any hassle whatsoever. So, and I used bull snot again. I did use bull snot to make it slippery, but it went on super easy. So tonight is Monday. This is the start of this project. Has covered a week, maybe, I'm not quite sure. But it is now at its conclusion. Once it's fully charged, I'm going to take this out and ride it around a lot more. So that's all I have for now. Hope you have a great week, and until next time, Duffman out. Want to know what bull snot is? This is bull snot. Available on Amazon. Works good. Now I just have to clean up all of the stuff.